now, according to our stream saying live, let's check YouTube. Man, what a night. I don't think you could have scripted it much better than that.
No, you could not have. Oh,
Man, this was man, okay. We are live just now. I gotta remember to change their names whenever I do these. Boston Bruins game.
We do need to be
4
professional.
post game.
Yes.
Go up 3-1 over Fraud Maple.
Look at, we're so popular. We already have a viewer waiting for us. They knew.
There we go.
They knew.
They're
like
the more
they're
people
gonna be on.
The more people we can get to join us in spiking this ball, the better. Everyone should get in here and enjoy a major victory. And you know what? We really played our game, and it was a game that, a lot throughout the season, whenever we had success, that was the kind of game that brought us to success. So huge victory over the fraud Maple Leafs. Instant reaction, Dad. You got any thoughts?
Let's tag some of my bigger Bruins fans. Drew Gordfish, where are you? Drew Gordfish?
Gordish.
It's not coming up. Why is it not coming up when I try to? Never mind.
It's all right.
Old They're people with technology.
It's fine. Listen.
So
what do you got, Dad? What's the instant reaction?
I mean, what a night. That second period, holy cow. Best second period of the playoffs so far. And they scored 2 goals, which is great. Don't get me wrong. But I loved the defense there. They were smothering. They looked Celtics-ish. They were just all over them. And Toronto could not muster anything. They started booing Toronto in the second period. That's amazing. So that's how awesome the Bruins defense was. There was like no point in that period where I was like, oh no, like, oh, what are you doing? What? There was no, what are you doing from the old Bull? So it was amazing.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, like the defensive effort, but I texted you, right? Or I think I might have written it on one of your posts. It's like the precision in which they went about that second period was so masterful. Every time there was a puck that was going off screen, there was never a Leafs player to get it. It was always a Bruins player in there at the right time. There was one point in particular I recall where the Leafs had the puck in the zone, and one of our guys went out to contest, realized he was out of position, pulled back, got into the right spot. Just overall, everyone was making super heady plays all over the place. And, it's really reassuring because, these are really important minutes for guys like Witherspoon and Lowry. Those guys really both of them popped off the screen this game. They both came in for their first NHL playoff experience last game. This game, they looked like veterans. They were all making all great decisions. Lowry got some really solid minutes this game. Witherspoon was, both of them were getting in the mix on the offensive zone, and at no point were they getting covered up at all. I kind of think of, I don't know if you've gotten to, I think Ted Lasso talks about the triangle. Have you gotten to the triangle in Ted Lasso?
No, don't spoil anything.
Okay, no spoiler.
No,
yes, but like just the way in which Lowry would slide up, Zacha was doing a good job getting back. They just kind of were working almost like a hive mind, and I really appreciated how they were doing that, getting involved in the offensive side and shoring up the defensive side.
Lowry was fantastic tonight, and give Montgomery credit. I don't know what the official minutes are, Matt. You're the quick Google guy. It felt like Lowry was on the ice a lot. Every time I saw him, he was doing an amazing job of getting it out, covering his area. It was terrific. And, I really hope that if he does have one rough game, they don't press the panic button and put like Grzelcyk back in. Give the damn kid a chance, and with Witherspoon, he's been really solid too, like super solid. So, I mean, what is there not to like? And, that was my number one thing I asked coming into these playoffs. Could we, for the love of God, stop with the turnovers in our zone? Like, and when we get the puck, possession, need to get it out. Can we just not make a mistake, keep a cool head, and get it out of our own zone? And man, it hasn't been perfect, but they've been so much better in this playoff so far, knock on wood, than they've been in the last 4 years, getting the puck out of their zone without a turnover. So hopefully that trend continues.
So Lori actually had some of the least minutes, second lowest minutes
Wow.
out of any defenseman. And again, like you mentioned,
Okay.
he popped off the screen in a lot of really good ways. Even though he was getting those low minutes, he had 17 minutes. And next up was Witherspoon with 18. And then it was Lindholm at 21. Carlo getting a ton of minutes, 23 minutes for Carlo, and then 25 minutes for McAvoy. And, I just want to give my buddy Andrew his flowers early here. He predicted a 3-1 game for the Boston Bruins. So I'm really excited.
He did.
Yeah. So he
Good
did
job,
nail that
Andrew.
on the money. Shout out to Andrew. He had a feeling, and obviously it worked. And I was close to mine. Okay, it was close to being the first shutout.
2-0.
The Maple
It
Leafs.
was.
Yeah. And it really,
So good
for me,
job.
for me, it wasn't so much about our score as it was about the Leafs score. There was a lot of talk going into this game. I don't know if anybody watched the pregame after our show, and they saw a lot of those guys on that desk. That Paul Bissonnette guy, I know he's a Maple Leafs jock sniffer, is what my buddy calls him. And he was talking about how the Leafs were getting 5 goals minimum, and how there was going to be goalie controversy in this in Bruins land, and that was not the case at all. So Swayman was amazing. Absolutely stood on his head, made some amazing saves. You can tell he's in this freaking Maple Leafs team. So what were your thoughts on the goalie situation, Dad?
I mean, the Wall guy looks better than Samsonov. I hope they go back to Samsonov. So,
yeah.
And not that I'm necessarily worried, but the Wall guy came in, and I tell you, he made some pretty
power
solid
play
saves.
saves.
Like, oh, damn! Please go back to Samsonov. I don't want to see this guy again. So, but I tell you though, I'm having a brain fart. What I was going to say. We don't want dead air.
No, don't worry. So
what's that? Carlo continues to be on his FU Old Bull campaign.
Yes.
Once again, Carlo was amazing. He just not turning the puck over, solid on his skates, clearing guys out of the front of the net. I notice these things constantly, and I just cannot find a negative thing to say about Carlo. I don't even know what's going on. I'm like, what the hell?
Listen,
who is this guy? Where's he been over the last 4 years? I love it. I love the transformation.
I think that if the Bruins win the Stanley Cup and Carlo keeps playing like he is, the Old Bulls got to get a minimum of a Carlo t-shirt, because disrespect on Carlo. You don't have to get a jersey. I won't make you spend $200, but I want a 25 Carlo on the back t-shirt, from Dick's, because Carlo deserves it. He's playing a ton of minutes, and like you said, in almost no way are we like, oh no, Carlo. Just there really wasn't too much to pick on this game. And my buddy Andrew said Austin Matthews didn't play at all in the third. I know they made some comments about that. Austin Matthews, I heard he might actually, I think the injury report came out, he's down with a broken spirit. So it's going to be rough for that guy. I don't see him coming back this series. Even though the Old Bull picked the Leafs to win in 6, I don't think that's happening. So really sorry to hear. Really sorry for your dad,
Well, it's literally impossible for the Leafs to win in 6. That cannot happen. And hey, listen, the Old Bull, when he's wrong, he eats it. He accepts responsibility. I've been wrong, and I'm just glad to be wrong to this point. We have one more game. Could we not leave Toronto? Could we just play in Toronto constantly? Even after, hopefully, we, knock on wood, eliminate Toronto. Could we just stay in Toronto?
Yeah, that should be our home ice. Yeah, and my buddy Andrew said he heard the crowd booing and just decided to go home. He just glided right out and just went home. Yeah, no. And to be honest, I don't know if Andrew and if you heard that, but like the announcers were trying to fabricate some Leafs momentum throughout the game. They had a little bit of momentum in like the third, even in the second. They were like, "Oh, can you feel that? I feel like the Leafs are that momentum's like, no, the Bruins have a stranglehold on this game. They kept trying
I
to
heard that too. Yeah.
these weird garbage like it was just a weird broadcast for me. And again, it just makes me miss our local broadcast. Andrew actually might be watching on Nesson. Do they have Nesson games right now, or is this all national?
No, I think it's all national. But Matt,
Yeah.
that's their job, though. Their job
Yeah.
is to create excitement. I mean, listen, the bottom line was that was boring as hell unless you're a Bruins fan. If you're not a Bruins fan, that was as boring as hell because there was nothing Toronto could produce. So any little scrap they were giving them, the announcers like, oh, feel some momentum might be switching. That's their job. I don't blame them.
All right.
But for us who know hockey, like whatever, let them get. That game was firmly in control the entire way. They got that one goal. That was a nice play and good for them. But
Okay.
man, lockdown defense. If the Bruins could just bottle this and bring this every game with their elite goaltending, oh baby, we're on to something. That's for sure.
Yeah, my buddy Andrew
goal
said
scoring. Still, but that's all right. You have elite goaltending. And you have a solid D in front of it in the Stanley Cup playoffs. That is generally the recipe for success.
And that's what you said going into this playoffs. You said when you have a great defense, you have solid, the best goaltending in the playoffs possibly. Just win games 2-1, 2-0, 1-0, and play it your way. And my buddy Andrew said, I guess Nesson is doing the first round, so he's lucky him. He pays like $100 to listen to it instead of the national broadcast, and it's not bad money after they listen to the national broadcast. But one thing I will say is that first period, surviving that circus show of a 4-on-4, 4-on-3, 5-on-4 was so huge. And I think that's something the key to the series for me is playing this Leafs team 5-on-5, because even though they have a ton of skill, the less ice this team gets, the better. And I was so nervous coming out of that with no Leaf goal. And the big reason why we had no Leaf goal is because Swayman was amazing. He had like a great kick save at one point. And then JVR getting that goal is just like such a backbreaker. The Leafs were basically playing overtime hockey for like almost like 4 minutes, where they were, tons of open ice, and they couldn't make anything happen while being one of the most high-powered offenses in the NHL, and with their one of their blue chip players back. So this is a mental boom for the Maple Leafs, to say the least.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was like the Bruins were just in anaconda mode, just choke them out on defense. And I tell you what, Nylander, you can see why he's a force, but give the Bruins credit. When they didn't shut him down, but they didn't give him anything like where Swayman needed to make a 10-bell save. But you can see that dude is talented. If he's a third line player, like Ron said at that earlier podcast, that's like literally the best third line player I've ever seen. He is good. And the Bruins did a great job of not shutting him down, but keeping him, in check basically. But you can see that he is a talented dude. So
it
was
my buddy,
nice to see that.
Yeah, no doubt. Nylander he didn't pop off the screen to me as he's not going to make a huge difference in the series.
He popped off the screen to me, but we did a good job, I felt, against him. Like, he was noticeable. Like, I noticed Nylander.
No, I noticed him, but it was just like, it wasn't like this guy is going to change the series. I think this series is almost, at this point, should be a foregone conclusion. My buddy Andrew, I think, must be in some sort of Austin Matthews roast thread, and he's just throwing things out there. He said you don't get paid. You don't get paid in the playoffs, and Austin Matthews knows this. So Austin is trying to think of his long-term pay per game here over here. You know what I mean? I guess. And I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Matthews. And to be honest, the heart of that team is Matthews, and that's a heart of a choker. And it might do him some good to get rid of Matthews, because Matthews isn't producing. He's not playing that well at all. Maybe it'll mix up some of those lines, and they might actually go, they might fall symptom to kind of the same thing that we did against the Blues that year, was you have a line that's so good and you just almost need to break it up and shift it around. I'm not saying that line isn't amazing because they are amazing, and Swayman is shutting them down, and our defense is doing great. But like, I don't know. Losing Matthews is huge, but I'm curious. Like, I mean, they came out and they scored their only goal of the game when he left. So, do you think that could work in their favor at all, Dad, losing Matthews, or am I crazy?
No, I think you're crazy. Listen, if they're gonna get
I'm
rid of
probably crazy.
Matthews, I would love to take. I would love to take him. I will take
I'm
him
not
in a
saying get
second.
rid of
Okay.
Matthews. I'm just wondering if it breathes life into them in the series on the offensive end.
Yeah.
Because it
I
seems like
mean,
they played better in the third, but we were also probably trying to play not to lose more so than anything.
right. I mean, he's in a losing culture. I mean, that culture. They're the Red Sox of hockey. That back before the Red Sox broke the curse many years ago. That's what they are. They're the Red Sox of hockey. But yeah, it's just something about. And they've tried to toughen up that team. They bring guys in who are not just finesse and tough, and there's just something. It's like these
Put on that
Canadian
jersey, just become
teams.
a loser. Yeah.
I almost feel like the hockey gods punish the Canadian teams, right? It's like
Yeah.
for all those years, you had dibs on Canadian-born players where no one else did, and like the Canadians, you won all those cups unfairly when American teams didn't have access to the players you had, and you won all those cups and you all this glory. And it's like Edmonton, you had Gretzky and Messi, and it's like now it's like the hockey gods are like, enough. You guys need to.
Yeah.
Here's the check. The check is due. The bill is due, and you need to pay it. Because let me tell you, Canadian teams cannot even sniff the Stanley Cup anymore. They can't. There's been years recently where no Canadian teams even made the playoffs. Which is crazy. It's like something about that culture is losing. Austin Matthews is in a losing culture. If you're not going to be on the Bruins, I hope he stays there.
Yeah, and my buddy Andrew said Toronto hasn't won a series against Boston in 57 years. That is almost as old as the old Bull. Almost as old as the old Bull. That's
easy.
crazy.
Easy.
That's 57 years.
Short. That's a lot. Okay. 6 years is a long time. All right. Let's not get crazy there.
Yep. Listen, I'm over the moon. I'm really excited. I mean, I was like biting my nails. I was so nervous going into tonight. And I mean, man, pretty much from
it was a great day.
Yeah, pretty much halfway through the second quarter in the Boston Celtics game. From that point on, everything was just gravy. There was no reason to stress, but I stressed anyways. And I'm so glad we're here spiking the ball, enjoying a victory. We got to bottle this up just like we did after that first night. We got to bottle this up and enjoy it. And hopefully we can enjoy a lot more of these.
All four of the Boston teams get a piece today. Okay, those bum Red Sox, they won 17-0 against the Cubs. Yep. Bruins just had a huge win. The Celtics, huge win, and the Patriots, they took a quarterback in the 6th round. So clearly, that dude is going to be the next Tom Brady. I mean, really good.
I know. I wonder what number that guy's. You know what's funny? So quick anecdote on that guy. Somebody said. Joe Milton, and for anybody who doesn't know, Joe Milton is a quarterback who played for Tennessee, and he has a cannon for an arm. And
by far the strongest arm in this draft, yes.
Yeah. Well, what a Tennessee fan said about him in a thread was, if you need 70 yards, Joe Milton is your guy, right? If you need 20 yards, Joe Milton will give you 70 yards. It's just like
but in a bad way. Like in a bad way. Like
in a bad way. He's throwing 70 yards downfield. Yeah. No. So it's a project, right? One scout said, I want to draft him just to figure out why he can't play, because it just doesn't make sense. Like, it was just so many funny little anecdotes from that. But my buddy Andrew.
Yeah, let's get off the pit. This is the Bruins moment. Yeah. Okay, so let's get back to the Bruins.
My buddy Andrew said the Boston's Professional Women's Hockey League also won today. So shout out to those women. Kudos. Definitely better hockey players than me and my dad. It was seemingly a clean sweep for Boston overall.
Whoa. I just have you know the old Bull was an elite street hockey defender
Yeah,
back in the day. Okay, nobody knew it. All right, could the old
elite
bull
street
score?
hockey.
I mean, when he had the Padua brothers on his line, the old bull could score because they did all the work, and I just get the empty net goals. But
Pete and Matt.
as a
Yep.
yeah, Pete and Matt. Jeff DePadge. You don't know Jeff. He was the best scorer out of all of them. Pete was the best player out of
I don't
all.
know if I've
But
met
I mean,
Jeff, but yeah.
no, you have not met Jeff. But oh man, when it came to lockdown defense in street hockey, I was the man. I tell you that right now.
And take a moment. Shout out to Pete. Super big fan of Pete. Thanks for all your support, Pete. If you're listening to this, but yeah, no, that was awesome.
Yeah.
my
So
my
wait,
dad,
when are the next games? Are they both playing Monday?
I think they're are they.
Please
I know
tell
the
me they're
Celtics
not
are
both playing Monday again.
Celtics are playing Monday, and Bruins. I don't think are
Oh.
playing till the 30th. Tuesday. Bruins are
Okay,
Tuesday.
I love that. We get the staggering schedule. So Celtics Monday, Bruins Tuesday.
Yep.
Yes,
Bruins
I
a
love
lot
it.
cleaning it up. They're sweeping the leg. I think the old bull needs to prepare a speech. I think Dad, we need a elimination game, like 1 minute speech
Oh,
of just finish them.
if the
Anaconda.
Bruins win their next game and fit, I will eat so much crow. I will apologize to all of
Oh
our
no,
viewers, to the Bruins, all of them. I will eat so much crow.
no.
I will
I'm
take
saying
it.
I'm saying the other way. In the pregame, I need you to give a pregame speech as if you were talking to the Bruins about finishing it, about ending the
Oh,
series, like Cobra
I'll do
Kai,
it.
whatever you got to say. If you can think of
Yes,
something, okay, put you on the spot.
yes.
And next game Tuesday, we need we need like the Little League championship, put it away speech from the old bull, and hopefully the Celtics will win on Monday, and then we could have a similar speech on Wednesday. So we're gonna have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's like
Oh,
It's
I
like
love it.
Christmas. It is like Christmas, everybody. Super
Hopefully it
excited.
is. Yep.
Um,
Amazing times. Absolutely.
yep. Tuesday Bruins, my buddy Andrew confirmed. So yeah. Thanks everybody. I think that's it. I think that's the podcast. Let's enjoy our Sunday. Let's have a nice, relaxing Sunday because we earned it. That was a lot of stress.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody.
Titletown had a good night. So
yes,
let's go celebrate. And I'm going to keep celebrating with my special beverage, my special water, sparkly adult beverage right now.
Sounds good. You enjoy your White Claw, Dad.
That is not White Claw. You take that back. All right.
All right, everybody.
Love
Good
you,
night.
son.